Welcome, everyone. It's Julie Boye here. I'm so excited to welcome my guest today, Andrea Elizabeth. Welcome.
Hi.
So, Andrea and I had the beautiful opportunity to meet in person through a mutual friend, Kelly Childs. She is the founder of Kelly's Bake Shop, which brings lots of people together. That's for sure one of my favorite places from Burlington, Ontario. And Andrea and I met at a very special event that Kelly and her daughter Erin hosted. And we just found out that we had so much in common. We had friends in common, lots of similar passions. And I really was excited to invite Andrea to speak with me today and share her passion for travel in a way that is really different than a lot of people approach it. So Andrea is a wellness travel concierge, and her business is called Sojourn Adventure. And I know that you have a great story about how you came to, be this travel concierge, which is really different than anything that I'd ever known before. So I'd love to hear you share your story with us.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me on this episode, and I'm so excited to be able to share my message with a broader audience. And yeah, I'm absolutely really passionate about wellness travel, so I'm happy to connect with more travelers who are looking for an experience like this.
Mm-hmm. So how did this happen for you? I mean, this is a very different kind of business. It's kind of a non-traditional way to look at travel and wellness. So where did this all start for you?
Yeah, so I was in the corporate world. I was working for a company for almost 10 years. I started out as a concierge rep for a lot of very VIP clientele, a lot of celebrities and high profile individuals, which I absolutely loved about my position was helping people find and connect to places all over the world or products and assist them with travel. But as in corporate, I was a very type A, high performer, perfectionist, and quickly walked my way up that corporate ladder and ended up becoming the head recruiter for the entire company. And flash forward 10 years later, I just found myself really burning out, was dealing with a lot of stress, very high pressured position. And at that time was a very young executive, and my passion really was traveling and helping people, find destinations all over the world, unique experiences. But myself, I was really, really, really burnt out. So I actually ended up going on a stress leave and was trying to find a way to reconnect back to myself and just live a little bit more of a healthier lifestyle. So I was obviously in the concierge and travel industry. And at that time, I knew that solo wellness retreats were becoming quite popular. And I had the opportunity to travel all over the world through my career. But Costa Rica at that time was becoming just a really popular trending destination. So I just went online, I Googled yoga retreat because it was a suggestion of a few individuals that perhaps I get into yoga. And there wasn't very many at that time. This was about 6 years ago, and 6 or 7 years ago. And I found my way to Costa Rica on a solo yoga retreat. And after 7 days, I had such an epic transformational experience and ended up just having this epiphany that I really wasn't living my authentic life and the life that, felt really good for me, and realizing that my health was deteriorating. And so I ended up leaving my corporate job and actually heading back down to Costa Rica. Went through a divorce and selling my house and really just leaving the conventional lifestyle that I had here in Ontario, Canada, and falling in love with Costa Rica and what we call the Pura Vida lifestyle. So while I went back down to Costa Rica to get myself into a little bit more of a healthier balance, I ended up coming up with this idea of sharing my story and connecting with other individuals who are going through something similar, and just wanting to introduce the idea of wellness travel and wellness retreats. Because at that time it was not really well known, and yoga was, really starting to become quite an amazing trend of, benefits for just becoming a little bit more balanced and de-stressing.
Yeah.
And so I made that sort of my mission, was to inspire others. And so I created Sojourn Adventure.
That is such an interesting part of your story that starts with burnout. And the reason I say that is, having interviewed over 30 people so far, I would say more than half of the people that I talked to that became entrepreneurs came from a place of burnout. Mm-hmm. And it's sad, actually. It's like, we grow up, we have this dream, we want to climb the corporate ladder. We believe that that's going to bring us everything that we want in our lives, and yet we burn out. And we lose our health along the way. We lose our passion along the way. We give up so many of the things that we love for this dream that we thought was ours. And it really wasn't. It was like somebody else sold us this dream, right? Because you were at the top, like you said. But it was not all what you thought it would be. And then you're burned out. I think this is such an important message that needs to be shouted again and again and again, that's giving up your health for a career is not the right, like, it's just not right. It's not worth it, right? So today, as you're working with clients, like, what differentiates you really from, I can go to a lot of travel agents, I can Google retreats online. Like, what is it about working with you that is different for clients? Is it because of your story? Is it because of the way that you really understand the country? I'd really love to dig deep more into that.
Yeah, it's been wonderful because the industry now is booming. Wellness travel and wellness retreats, there are so many out there. And through the past 6 years, I've felt so honored and so blessed to have had so many different clients. Costa Rica has absolutely been a huge passion of mine. Mm-hmm. My story actually ended up being that I would continue to go back to Costa Rica. I just felt this incredible pull. I absolutely love the country and have been so many times. So have spent the last 5 winters in Costa Rica, and then my summers and fall here in Canada. And so I think that with that experience and having made a number of really strong connections and a huge network in Costa Rica, I feel like that is a country that have definitely have the expertise and knowledge. Yeah. I want to continue expanding globally. So I have helped travelers in many different other countries around the world, and really want to keep going with that. And really what it is that I feel like I'm still going through my journey, and I'm still authentically sharing and meeting people and connecting with so many. And it's been amazing having such a huge global network and being able to connect and listen to people's stories. A lot of women who are in a similar transition. My primary focus is on women who are going through this, but I definitely love connecting with men too, because they're just as much going through a burnout as well. So I think it's just about being authentic and sharing that experience, and coupled that with the knowledge and my passion for wellness travel. And I, again, feel so honored that I've had some incredible clients who have had such epic transformational stories and journeys, and who have been so brave enough to share that. And to me, that is what the fuel is. And I think it's also inspiring for other individuals who have met these people. So a lot of my marketing and my connections do come from word of mouth or through friends of friends. So
That's the most beautiful way to build a business, really, is through personal referrals. I mean, there's just nothing better than getting a referral from someone who had a great experience.
Yeah.
Tell me, just as an example, so if I'm coming to you, a friend of mine referred me to you, I am feeling burnt out, I need a break in my career, I need some time away, I need some time for myself. What would an experience potentially look like if I were to do a trip with you?
Yeah, so I start off, if I haven't normally have had the first connection or introduction to them, I offer just a mini catch-up call, completely complimentary, just to understand a little bit more about what I do,
Okay.
because this service is so unique and it's something that I created, a wellness travel
Yeah.
concierge. Many people don't understand what that quite is. So I'm happy to do that. And then we would set up a consultation, and through my consultation, it's a lot more in depth than just speaking with a travel agent. So I really want to connect to my client's story and what they're going through, and intuitively, as well as coupled with my expertise and knowledge, I will put together a travel guide for them.
Okay.
And often that will include a wellness retreat that would be perfect for what they're looking for, or a destination in mind. And then just really craft that experience for my client with them in mind. So it's very customized.
Okay.
And I'm also there, while they're going through that journey too. So, oftentimes my clients will want to connect with me while they're away on retreat or on the experience, and involve a lot of coaching along that way.
Oh, okay. So this has nothing to do with a package experience whatsoever. It is literally you are creating a custom experience for everyone that connects with you. And because you've built such a network of people in Costa Rica, you actually are able to really say, here's an ideal place for you to work with. Or these wellness retreats, are they a lot of them run by like Canadians, Americans, or locals? Like what kind of retreats do you send your clients to?
Yeah, so I definitely work for travelers and clients, but what I've also started to do is to help other teachers and facilitators that have yoga retreats or wellness retreats, or whatever type of getaway they're hosting, and I help to promote their experience. So I
Okay.
have a wide range of network of retreats and destinations all over the world. So not just in Costa Rica now.
Okay.
There's some in Belize and Bahamas and
Oh,
Mexico and Europe. Really, it all depends, because each client is so different, and I can, say that no one's had the same experience. Everything has really been crafted specifically for them and catered for them and what they're working through, and what I feel would be a great experience for them.
well, I love that you found a way to personalize travel in a day and age where, we can just package everything up, go on a tour, make it simple, and you've actually taken a personalized approach to creating an experience that's specifically for that person and what they need. And like you said, there's some intuition involved. There's really an understanding and a listening to your client and making sure that you craft an experience based on their personal needs, which I think it's really, really an excellent way to provide service for a client by really understanding their needs. And then, as you said, you're with them throughout the process. So it's not just, here's the package I created for you, off you go, good luck. You're part of the package, the coaching that goes along the way. Based
Yeah.
on your own experiences and your learnings, you're able to really share that wisdom with your clients. So I really actually do have a much better understanding of what it means to work with you. Thank you. That was really well explained. So now I want to ask you, when you think about self-love, and that whole feeling of taking care of ourselves and being kind to ourselves, how does that fit into your work? How does that fit into your business model?
Yeah, I think the journey for myself, again, going through my own experience, was about learning to love myself after going through corporate burnout and a divorce. Really was focusing in on me and what authentically, fueled my soul and what made me feel really good. And this was a huge learning lesson for myself. So I have done so much over the past few years as far as personal development and really honing in on what self-love means. And, there are so many different practices of self-care, like meditation and yoga and, the going to a spa. But really it is all about, daily affirmations and, really listening intuitively to your inner guidance and being around positive influences and, listening to great podcasts and reading, some wonderful self-care books. I've had some incredible teachers over the years who've been a major influence in my life and who have really, helped with understanding what self-love truly is. And for every individual, it's something completely different. But I think it is really just tuning into yourself and listening intuitively to what you need.
And I think too, with the kind of business that you're doing, like as a wellness travel concierge, that's part of really the fabric of, someone making that decision to try and get past the burnout or, have that moment of doing something that's really about them, whether it be a yoga retreat or a meditation retreat or getting away in a way that's caring for themselves as opposed to, and there's nothing wrong with lying on a beach in Mexico. There isn't. For some people, that's the right thing. But does it fuel your soul? Right? I mean, you're a soldier in adventure, right? You're really offering people ways to not just relax and, take a break, but you're offering ways for people that actually fuels their soul and helps them to develop these self-love habits and these activities. So it's really aligned with all the things that I've been sharing, and I'm so excited. You've made me really excited about going back to Costa Rica. I've been twice. My family, my husband and daughter and I went, I guess it's been about 4 years, and 4 years ago, and my daughter still asks us all the time, when are we going back? When are we going back? Because it is a very, very magical and beautiful place. I just want to go back to watch more of the sunset, really.
Yeah. And the sunsets are so magical. It is a very powerful country. I feel so blessed because I have been to over 35 different countries around the world. And my passion is travel. I've always loved talking about travel. Even when I was little, I would walk up to my local travel agency and get the brochures and memorize and read all about the different resorts around the world. But, I love going to different destinations. But really it's wellness travel that really sparks that inside of me, because I am such a big believer that if you're going to spend, X amount of dollars to go away and have a getaway, you really should come back feeling rejuvenated and well and refreshed and relaxed. Oftentimes, I hear people say, oh, I just need to get another vacation from my vacation. And, you shouldn't feel like that. You should really come back feeling like a bit of a changed person and go through those personal growth moments and transformations. So, yes, it's for me, a soul journey adventure is a journey to come back to yourself and to really rediscover like who that really is. And oftentimes, there, actually countless times, clients will come back and they do have these incredible experiences when they just have taken time out for themselves and have been a little bit outside of their comfort zone, obviously with some help and guidance from myself. But they've done a little bit of adventure too on their trip. And even the trip and journey in itself is a huge adventure. So just pushing themselves outside of that comfort zone is often, I find, what clients really need to be able to get through a transition or through a difficult time in their life.
And I mean, there's nothing worse than coming home with a travel hangover, like you said. This is not that kind of experience at all. So I'm excited. I'm excited for, when the time comes to plan our own family adventure. We'll definitely be connecting with you because I really love your approach to the way that you look at travel as more than just a trip. It's really a journey. As we wrap things up, you shared a bunch of different things that you're doing that are self-love practices and self-care practices. If you could just share one tip with those that are watching or listening that would be a self-love practice or habit that they could start, or maybe something that they could stop doing, what would that be for you?
Well, absolutely, without a doubt, mindfulness and the practice of mindfulness has absolutely changed my life. Meditation has been a huge aspect of that, but really just living in that present moment, and sitting still and just being with your feelings and really paying close attention, has been a huge, game changer for me and for many of my different clients. And being in Costa Rica and being in that Pura Vida environment has really changed that for me. In that country specifically, they really do embody, just being around nature and reconnecting back to nature and being close to the ocean and to the jungle and to the volcano and the trees. It's a really incredible country, but also, staying close to friends and family and having that support system and really, living a simplistic lifestyle, and everything else, the cars, the money, the clothing, everything that, we have in this sort of North American society is really, it's not worth it, especially when your health is suffering. So
it's heavy. It's heavy, right?
Yeah. So, they really do embody that down there. And as much as I love sending solo travelers down to Costa Rica or to other countries as well, because there's many different places around the world that sort of embody this feeling of wellness. I love having families go down too. So I'm so excited to be able to help your family out. But there are some incredible destinations too that are really great for families to just reconnect back to themselves.
Awesome. So really just that moment of mindfulness, of being present in your day, of enjoying nature is a simple habit that anyone can start and anyone can do at any moment, just being in the present. And that is what is being mindful, is being aware of where you are at this exact moment in time. I've really, really enjoyed our time together. It's been so wonderful. Now, if people want to connect with you, what's the easiest way to find you? Where do we connect?
Okay, so I have a website. My website is www.souljournadventure, and that's SOULJOURN adventure.com. I am on Instagram at souljournadventure, and I have a Facebook page, Souljourn Adventure, and you can either message me there or email, and I'd be happy to set up a consultation with you.
Awesome. Thank you again. This has been really wonderful. You've really opened my eyes to a really beautiful way of travel that I'd never thought of before, and that's so aligned with self-love. Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you. Bye.